So as you know, first you have to draw the diagram for the common emitter. So as you know, in common emitter, okay, so the emitter has to be grounded. So I have grounded the emitter. So if emitter is grounded, I have remaining terminals base and collector. So base will act like my base will be my input. Collector is going to be my output terminal. So for the base, I'm going to connect, you know how to connect NPN transistor means base is of P type. Emitter base junction is forward bias. So base will be connected to positive, emitter is connected to negative. This is the supply for your transistor function. Transistor is an active device, right? Without power supply, transistor cannot function. So for the functioning of transistor, you need to give a DC supply. So that DC supply is given here VBB. Along with that, whatever signal you want to amplify, you can give that is going to be your VI. Okay, VBB is your DC bias, DC signal for the functioning of your for biasing your emitter base junction, and VI is the input signal. And any input signal will have any voltage source will have a resistance RS in series. So that is what is given RS. And output side, you see, I'm going to take the output across the load RL, and also a collector based junction is reverse bias. So collector will be given to positive. You know, collector is N type. So it will be given opposite polarity. Collector will be given to positive and emitter is grounded. And negative is given to ground. That is given as VCC. And you take output across the load RL. So without VBB and VCC, your transistor will not function. So VI is also optional because only if you want to amplify, you will be giving a signal, input voltage VI. Otherwise, VBB and VCC, common emitter, you call it as VBB and VCC, are definitely required for the transistor to function. And the biasing will be accordingly, as you know, NPN transistor, emitter is N, base is P, collector is N. That one thing you should remember. Then always emitter based junction is forward bias, collector based junction is reverse bias. So on the biasing, but you have to draw the connect the batteries in that way. So if you see in that way, positive is connected to base, positive is connected to collector also. Because emitter based junction is forward bias, collector based junction is reverse bias. Okay, and input current is IB, output current is IC. Okay, this is your common emitter configuration as an amplifier. How to use this as an amplifier? See here, we are going to use NPN transistor. VBB is used to forward bias the emitter based junction, and VCC will reverse bias the collector based junction. That is the basic theory of your BJT, right? So for using the BJT as an amplifier, emitter based junction has to be forward bias and collector based junction has to be reverse bias. So what will this ensure? This will ensure that the transistor is working in the active region. You know, any device working in the active region will be an amplifier. Okay, so the input signal VI is an AC signal because I told you we are going to give sine wave, right? So input signal VI will be an AC signal, while these two voltage VPB and VCC are going to be the DC bias signals. Okay, VI, you see, it is given inside the box. You are having a sine wave, which means that the input is going to be a sine wave. Okay, AC signal. Okay, so magnitude of input signal will always forward bias the emitter junction. During the positive half cycle, the forward bias is very high. As a result, more electrons will be injected into the base, and base is very thin. It cannot accommodate more number of charge carriers, so very few recombination will take place in base, and majority of the carriers will be going to the collector, resulting in a very large amount of collector current IC. This operation we have already seen. So this collector current will flow through the load resistance RL, creating a voltage across the RL. So that is given by V naught, and V naught is going to be IC into RL. Ohm's law, buddy, you know V is equal to IR. Here I'm measuring V across RL. It is given by V naught. V naught equal to current into resistance. Current flowing through RL is IC, so it is IC into RL. Okay, and you see here V naught polarity is negative. That is why I said VI is positive, V naught is negative. So there is a 180-degree phase shift between input and output of common emitter amplifier. There is a 180-degree phase shift. The input signal and output signal will be completely out of phase by 180 degree. You cannot avoid this problem. You cannot overcome this problem. This issue will be there always in the transistor. Yeah, 180-degree out of phase. Now you know always emitter current equal to base current plus collector current. An emitter base current, you see, it is all the currents will be flowing towards the terminal. Emitter current will be flowing outwards. So if that has to happen, then IB will be flowing this way towards the transistor. IC will be flowing toward the transistor. So when IC is flowing through RL, the polarity what you see, always the current entering node is positive, the current leaving node is negative, correct? So if you mark the polarity like this, then V naught will also have positive here, V naught will have negative here. So actually it is minus V naught what we are measuring. Okay, so that is the reason why we say we have 180-degree phase shift between input and output of the transistor. Okay, that is the only drawback we have in the common emitter configuration. Okay, so during the negative half cycle, the forward bias is decreased. So the naturally negative, when you give negative bias, the transistor will not function for negative bias, because only for positive bias, the majority carriers are injected more from the emitter. For negative bias, relatively the count of the number of charge carriers crossing the base and reaching the collector is going to be very, very small, so which reduces the collector current. So when collector current is going to be small, the output voltage across the RL is also going to be small. Okay, so this will indicate a small change in the input AC signal, as it produces a large change in the output gain with voltage gain around 500 and a phase shift of 180. I told you about this phase shift just now. The common emitter amplifier will always have a phase shift of 180 degrees. And the voltage gain is, you see, it is around 500. So if you give 1 volt sine wave to your common emitter amplifier, the output voltage, output sine wave will be 500 volt. Yeah, I'm just saying this for an example. So 500 volt on this now, the transistor will burn, because such a high voltage cannot be withstood by the transistor. So what I'm just saying, for example, if I give 1 volt, the amplified version of 500 volts is obtained at the output. But transistor we usually give signals in the order of millivolt. So if I give 1 millivolt, I will be multiplying that by 500. So I'll be getting 500 millivolt. 500 millivolt is equal to zero point 0.5 volt. So I will be getting 0.5 volt at the output. So 1 millivolt எங்க இருக்கு, 0.5 volt எங்க இருக்கு பாருங்க. How huge the amplifier is being, amplification is being done. So this here, the so voltage gain is output voltage by input voltage. That is the reason having the very high voltage gain is the reason for compared to common base and common collector transistor configuration. Why is common emitter transistor is widely used means because of very high voltage gain. So such a high voltage gain is not possible by common base and common collector. Common base volt gain will be in the order of 100. அவ்வளவுதான். Common collector the voltage gain is approximately 1. Okay, so common emitter, the voltage gain is 500. So that is the reason, even though common emitter does not, it has all the good qualities to become an amplifier, just because of one very good factor, that the voltage gain is very, very high, makes it a potential candidate for using it as an amplifier in the different electronic circuit which we are using it day to day in our daily life.